Sherry. I'm Mike Pittman once again, guest hosting the Survive and Thrive show, which is actually hosted by my wife, Sherry. And joining us on the show today are three dynamic black women that say that they're trying to find a man, but yet there's no good man out there, and they have difficulty finding good men. So joining us on the show is Miss Tiffany Hatchett. How you doing, Tiffany?
I'm good. How are you?
Miss Danielle Lewis.
Ward,
I'm sorry. And Miss Tasha Dots.
Hi.
How you ladies doing?
Wonderful.
Y'all all doing good?
Yeah.
You know, this topic of, I hear it's talked about a lot in terms of, you know, being able to find a good man. I can't find a good man. I can't find a good black man because either they in jail, they married, or they gay, or whatever it might be. So I just wanted to ask you guys, you know, what y'all looking at for these men that y'all can't find, and what are the problems that you have in finding a man? Tasha, you want to go first?
Sure. I don't really go anywhere, so maybe that's part of my problem. But I don't know. I spend a lot of time at school. I'm just hoping that I bump into him at a gas station or something. That's
You bump into him in the
something
gas.
like that happens.
So what's your idea of a good man?
I don't know. I want someone who, of course, has a job, who doesn't need me to take care of him, of course.
Okay, that's a good.
But
good
that's number one. But I don't know, just a good man, a person that takes care of his responsibilities and adores me.
That's your criteria. That's
I mean, there's a lot of
Expand
things.
a little bit more. You can expand a little bit more. You're auditioning for a man here now. So.
Am I auditioning?
No.
I think he's going to be the one auditioning.
Okay.
But I don't know, just have his own place. Take care of, if he has children, takes care of his children.
Okay.
I don't know, has goals, and probably
Goals.
already in his career. If he isn't already in his career, at least has a plan for getting to where he needs to be.
What about you, Danielle?
Well, I have to have a guy that's spiritual. He has to love God or have a relationship, and somebody that prays. And actually he wouldn't have to be necessarily a Christian. I would date outside of my own, religious beliefs, but he has to have some kind of spiritual nature to himself, be able to support himself, and also have goals and dreams for his own life. Because when I think of having a partner, I think of a relationship as a partnership. You know what I'm saying? There's some give and take, but you have to have your outside interests and everything, because I value my hobbies, my creative time, and my own space. So I can't have somebody that's like needy, always have to be joined at the hip, somebody like that. So if he's got friends, and hobby, and somebody that's kind and cares about the world, whether it's his community or the world in general, but has something going on that reflects he cares about humanity.
Okay. Tiffany.
Well, I want someone that's God-fearing as well. I want someone that believes in the Lord and that's willing not only to just pray, but to pray with me, to be supportive, to be able to be self-sufficient, to be charismatic and fun and spontaneous. But I need some monogamy up in there. Some monogamy. And I want somebody that's just going to put me first and allow me to reciprocate those things. Yeah.
Now, you all have been in previous relationships before, and I guess, those relationships really didn't work out. I mean, why do you think some of those relationships didn't work out? Do you feel like some of you might have put too much into them, or the fact that the person that you were actually really interested in wasn't the person for you, and how did you find that out? Any of y'all can go.
Well, after some deep reflection, over time, I realized in a few of my past relationships that I was insecure. So I had my own issues that I was dealing with, not knowing who I was, just not being solid as a person and with my own beliefs and things like that. So I focused too much on that other person. But now I know who Danielle is, and I feel more confident in myself that I'm not the needy one, where in the past I feel that I have been.
Anybody else want to jump in on that?
I struggle with that exact thing. I went through a lot as a young girl, so I guess didn't have the respect for myself that I probably should have had, and I didn't feel like I deserved a whole lot. So when I had this person, I was trying, it's like I was putting all my energy into trying to let this person see I'm this person. You're supposed to see me this way. I'm supposed to, you know, but I didn't feel that myself. So it was hard of course, for him to see me that way. Or he probably saw all the insecurities where I'm trying to hide them, but I'm just throwing them all out there every chance I got, you know. So I'm about in the same boat as she is. I've, you know, figured out what I want, how I am, appreciate, you know, what I have to offer, and I'm just waiting for somebody to understand that and really give it to me.
My issue was about like theirs. I had a crazy childhood as well, but my awakening came when I realized that I was given so much. I was given all the love that I didn't receive growing up, and from a young girl to a young lady to a woman. So I was giving away all this love, and I wanted to give this person the same type of love that I felt like I needed in return. But I was never able to receive it because I was giving too much of myself and not expecting the same in
Expecting the same in return, and
Yeah.
that is the same exact. And I found myself saying that all the time. And the person that I was dealing with used to say all the time, "But you always throwing stuff in my face." It's like, I'm not trying to throw things in your face. I'm just saying I do all of this for you. Why can't you do some of this for me? And it was just a constant. That's exactly what it is, Tiffany. I mean, I was just giving everything, and it's just like I couldn't get it back.
Ask this question: if any of you all ever tried this online dating? It seems to be one of the new things out there with social media in terms of trying to meet somebody. What do you guys think about that?
I attract lunatics, so
You attract lunatics.
Yes.
Could you expound on that with us? I got to hear this one.
Well, I've recently moved back home. I've been back here for almost a year next month. And I've been approached a couple of times by people that won't take no for an answer. And I actually had to go to court recently to get a no stalking, no contact order.
A no stalking, no
From a complete stranger.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Go back again. Now, this is somebody you don't even know that you got a restraining order against.
Correct.
And because they just had this obsession with you, or?
I guess it was an obsession. I don't really want to say that because I don't know this person, but he would see me jogging down the street, and that's kind of how it started. And it started like in the spring, and it just pretty much came kind of to a screeching halt in October when I had to take action.
So the social media dating thing is definitely not for you then.
We're going to pass it to Danielle.
I have tried it. The first time I've tried it twice. The first time was a Christian site. I had worked with a lady that had met her husband. She had a good man. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try it, you know. And I got out of the contract before it was over because everybody was either wanting you to hook up or do inappropriate things via the webcam, you know, complete strangers.
Oh, okay.
This is the Christian.
The Christian side. Okay. Oh, okay.
This one guy who said he was a pastor, said he was in New York, but you never know where these people are.
Right.
He said, I want to meet you. Can I drive down tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I don't even know you.
Oh,
and I
my
jokingly
goodness.
I said, you could be a serial killer, you know. And he was highly offended. And I was like, yeah, I was right.
He got a body count in the basement.
Right. So I got off that site, and then the latest one that I tried was Match.com. That was maybe 6 months ago when it ended. And I talked to a few people, you know, no chemistry kind of thing, but one guy, and they match you up according to your likes and everything. So I have dogs, I train dogs, so that's my hobby, that kind of thing. So this guy on his profile who contacted me, he said he has dogs. He had a picture of a German Shepherd, which I have, on his page and everything. I was like, oh, he's got a cute doggy, you know. So we're talking on the phone and we're talking about dogs and interesting conversation. We both laughed and everything. So at the end of the conversation, he goes, I have something to tell you. I'm like, okay. And he said, I have a severe reaction or allergic reaction to dogs. And I said, well, that dog on your profile, he was like, oh, that's my neighbor's dog.
Oh, Lord.
And by the end of the conversation, he had asked me, he said, for a good man, would you be willing to move your dogs outside? My dogs, they're inside dogs. I train. That's just me. That's part of who I am. I was like, no. So then after that, you know, a few days later, he's texting me. He's like, are you sure you wouldn't put your dogs out for a good man? Case closed.
No.
You know,
Your dogs are like your baby.
they are. And I'm thinking, I don't even know you. And he's trying to measure how desperate I am to see what am I going to do for a guy. Yeah.
Now, you guys talked about the whole thing with, I guess, some of the self-esteem things that you have. And a lot of times, you know.
Hi, my name is Sherry Pittman, and I'd like to welcome you to join us in watching Survive and Thrive with Sherry every Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. on Fox Channel 7 WRSP. You can also catch us on Access 4 at 10:30, 4:30, and again at 10:30 p.m. We look forward to having you join us watching the show. We love to talk about marriages and other things as well, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.
Whatever that you've got to pass those now. You feel like you're a better person, that you're even more better suited for somebody now, that you could offer a man something even better that you thought you would have offered him in the past?
Definitely. I mean, self-discovery is always better going into any kind of relationship. And I feel like a lot of people jump into relationships and they don't know who they are. And people force things to stay together. And then I think that's why a lot of divorces happen. People find themselves after they've already gotten into this deep commitment like this. And I feel like, as speaking for myself, have gone through all of these things. Hopefully I won't make the same mistake. I already know some things about myself. So.
Now, I got to ask this question because I think this is something that's pretty prevalent right now, at least a lot of black women, because there are not a lot of single black men out there, that they basically start looking in other directions in terms of outside their race, either they date a white or Hispanic or whatever. Give me you guys a feeling on that in terms of what do you think about that? Yep. Oh, you were quick to answer that. So, okay. Yeah, that's a good yep.
I used to be against it.
It's not that I'm against it. It's just not my thing. It's just not my preference, you know? And I've had a white guy at one point call me prejudiced. I said, I'm not prejudiced. I have no problem with, with white guys. It's just not a thing that I want to date. You know what I mean? It's just not it's not my thing. I'm not going to say I would never, ever do it. I can't see myself doing it sitting right here. No, I can't see it happening. But, I mean, you never know. But I'm not.
Well, love is colorblind, wouldn't you say?
I
believe it's colorblind, but I'm like Tasha. I've always, my uncle, if he watches this, I remember asking him when I was 10, like, why don't any of the ladies you date look like me? And so I think that had a lot to do with it. But now, I'll say that I'm open, but it's preference over prejudice. I prefer my own people.
We are visiting with Tiffany Hatchett, Danielle Ward, and Tasha Dotz, 3 single, beautiful black women who said that they can't find a man. And we're going to go take a break right now. When we come back from this break, we're going to pick this conversation back up because it has been a very interesting conversation. We'll right back after this message.
Hi, my name is Sherry Pittman, and I'd like to welcome you to join us in watching Survive and Thrive with Sherry every Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. on Fox Channel 7 WRSP. You can also catch us on Access 4 at 10:30, 4:30, and again at 10:30 p.m. We look forward to having you join us watching the show. We love to talk about marriages and other things as well, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.
Welcome back to Survive and Thrive with Sherry. I'm guest host Mike Pittman, hosting the show, and joining us again on the show is Tiffany Hatchett, Danielle Ward, and Tasha Dotz. And the subject we're talking about is men. These women say that they can't find a good man, and we're here discussing that issue today with them. So we're going to go right back into the conversation that we were having with them before we went on break, talking about a man. Danielle, now I know you do several different things. You have several different hobbies. How important is it that the man that you have support the hobbies that you have or the things that you like doing? Or can you talk about that? I know you do some acting and other things. Can you talk about that?
Yes, it's extremely important for him to not take the things that I do kind of personally, because with the acting, I might be married in what I'm saying, in a role and
kissing on some guy or something, or I see.
So he's got to be cool with that. And I like dogs. I'm a dog person, so I'm probably always going to have dogs and train dogs, that kind of thing. So that's something that I'm not going to give up, because that's a part of who I am, and it's important to me. So he doesn't have to love dogs, but he's got to know that they're there. And a part of my family and everything. So yeah. What
about hobbies? I know you say you like to jog, you like to work out, you go to the gym, and
I go to the gym. I'm in school. I'm interning. I have a busy life. I also did.
But you got time for relationship too, though, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay. You're not that
with
busy.
the right person.
Okay.
People do and make time for what they want to do. But also I had an internet talk show when I was in Dallas, and I had issues with people being intimidated. Like, have you found that? People being intimidated by what you do?
I've had a few guys ask me if I thought that I didn't have a boyfriend because guys were intimidated by me. And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know why they would be, because I'm friendly and I'm outgoing, and I think I'm approachable. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So that would be my thing. Not finding someone that's not intimidated by my my hobbies or how busy I am, but allowing them in and giving them time if the time is warranted.
And do you guys have a lot of male friends, just guys that are friends that you really don't have any relationships with?
I don't.
Do you think that's healthy or not?
It's healthy for me.
Healthy for
it's
you.
my norm. I'm fine with it.
I do. I have, most of my friends are guys just because women are catty. And yeah, not these women, of course.
Oh,
but,
okay, not the
yeah.
ones on Survive and Thrive.
Right.
Definitely not.
But women are catty, and it's hard sometimes to be friends. I mean, my best friends have been my best friends since I was like in kindergarten. So, yeah.
I have a lot of guy friends. I have my core, like 3 female friends that are like my core, but then I have also my core guys that I hang out with, and I wondered sometimes if that would be a hindrance, because like today I went to the movies today with my guy friend, so I'll go out, and so of course people might think we're a couple, you know, so I thought about that maybe, you know, I should go out more with my girlfriend.
So was it just you and the guy that went out? Or with some other friends? So,
it's usually,
but there's no physical attraction there at all, just a guy friend, huh?
See, I haven't ran into that. That hasn't happened. Any time that I end up calling myself being friends with guys or somebody, they always end up liking. No, I mean, not saying it like that, but you know, something always ends up happening. After a while, they start trying to, you know.
But don't you think that's how relationships get started, though? You have to be friends first, or?
No, yes, I do. Or that can happen that way. It doesn't have to happen that way, and it's not going to happen that way with me, because I'm not good with making new friends or getting new people. I'm very friendly, you know, all that kind of thing. I'm very nice, but I have my one girlfriend that we're really good friends. I don't hang with a bunch of people, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Now, because there's such a shortage of men, I mean, do you guys feel at any point in time that you got to lower your standards in order to get a man? Or
I don't plan
definitely
on doing
not
that.
on the table, huh?
I already lowered mine enough. I'm over lowering. No.
I mean, I'll make probably exceptions in certain areas depending on what they are, but I wouldn't consider it lowering my standards. It'd just be, okay, everybody, there's something wrong with somebody. Everybody has an issue. You know what I mean?
Well, I know some women
You gotta
that,
decide what
they're
you deal with.
career oriented. They got, got real good jobs or whatever, and they say, I'm not going to date a man that's making less money than me. Do you think that those women are missing the boat from a good, hard-working man who might not make the amount of money that they're making, but can still, quote unquote, take care of business?
I wouldn't say that. It's all in the person and how they feel, because it happens a lot where a woman can get with a man who doesn't make as much money as she is, and then he has an issue with that. You know what I mean? So I won't, unless it depends on what her
he's
reasoning.
Insecure.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of men insecure. I'm not saying that all men are like that, of course, but it happens very often. Men can't take it when the woman makes more money.
Really? So what about Stedman Graham?
I don't even know who that is. Oh, Oprah. I don't know how he feels.
But he is a businessman.
And he probably has his own thing going.
Well, the boy got his own money too, huh?
And he's got his own thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they've been together.
And wasn't they doing their thing before?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go get somebody who
There are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah. Now, what's the deal breaker, I guess, in terms of a guy? Just something you just will not put up with at all.
An abusive person.
An abusive person.
Yes.
Controlling, which is that goes back to being abusive. What?
I'm control. I don't know. I kind of have that controlling kind of thing too, a little bit. Not like that. Don't look at me like that, Tiffany. But a little bit. You know what? A deal breaker for me is, aside from, of course, that one, because I'm not dealing with that. We'll say that. But a weak man. Like a man that's always whiny and clingy, and I cannot do that.
Weak man. So just no backbone, you mean?
No
and just-
backbone. I cannot have a man that I can run over. If I can run you over, it's a problem. Now my personality is very strong, so
Really?
it is very much. I mean, it's
So,
that's gonna be something he's gonna have to deal with.
So you don't want a pushover man.
I don't.
Okay.
I can't deal with a pushover.
But you don't want an abusive man at the same time,
At the
too,
same
right?
time.
So why do you find that balance?
I don't know.
Don't know.
As long as he ain't putting his hands on me, but he can get me to sit down without making me feel small.
Sit down without putting his hands on you.
Yeah,
huh?
we good. I can't deal with a man. And I can say, go to the corner. He'd be like, oh.
So you
for-
want a
for
man
5
that
minutes or
takes
for
you
10
want a
minutes.
man that takes control, basically, huh?
I do, because
Okay.
like I said, my personality is very strong, and so I don't need a man that I can just, I can't do that. I
But
don't
what
do
about if the man loved you and he just wanted to shower you with affection and gifts and
That's
and
not
you
the
you
same
feel like
thing.
that's the weakness because
That is not the
you know
same thing.
I hear this a lot because I hear some good guys that are out there saying, man, all they want is a thug. They want I'm a good man, but they rather go get a thug than get a good man. What y'all think
That's
about
not.
that?
That's not necessarily.
I've
true.
heard some women. I hear some guys talk about that.
No.
That's not
You
true.
don't have to be a
At least
thug
not for you all.
to be a man. You don't have to be a thug. And you can shower your woman with flowers and whatnot without selling.
I'll be honest.
Go ahead.
I like them a little rough around the edges.
I do too.
Oh, you like them rough, huh?
I do, not that rough.
But a thug
Okay.
and a
But when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I'll admit I did.
Well, now, what was it about them that basically just capitulated you? I guess is the word to use.
picture.
Is that the right word to use? I don't know if that was. I mean,
That's the word
why
we
was it
use
that
it.
you just had to have a bad boy?
That's a good one, a bad boy. I don't know. I think it was because of the environment that I grew up in. My dad was a bad boy, and sometimes you're attracted to your father. Yeah, just like boys are attracted to what they see in their mothers in certain women. I think that's what it was for me. However, now at 43 years old, I'm not interested in
Now,
that.
how did you get over that?
I had an awakening, an epiphany. I realized that I kept making the same mistakes and going through these horrible relationships, and the common denominator was me. So it was my choices, I was approached by good guys too, and I've dated good guys.
But you turned the good guys away back then.
They were boring.
They're very boring.
And
I don't.
not
What,
all
what,
of them.
So-
what are we calling a thug?
What do you call born in the
What
guy?
are we
though?
calling
I
a
mean,
thug?
That's the good
First of all,
question.
what is a thug?
I
Because
guess
I don't
so.
want a little dirty one running around with his pants halfway
Okay.
down
Oh,
his
no,
pants.
Yeah,
Not that kind of thug.
I mean,
like
somebody must say they selling drugs or they doing illegal activities or they hitting on people or doing stuff that
thug.
they just the thuggeries do. I guess the
Yeah.
thugs do.
That thug passion.
I like a conservative.
Because see, I hear this a lot.
conservative thug.
A conservative thug. It's like an oxymoron, ain't it? A conservative thug. But I hear a lot of guys say this because they feel like they're good guys, but some women just don't want them because they ain't thuggish enough and they not willing to change and become a thug.
I don't agree with that.
You
I
don't
don't
agree with
either.
that? Now I hear guys tell me this, so
You know what? I like nice guys, but you have to be funny or make me laugh. When she said dude was boring, sometimes you run into that, with guys, and they're nice, and you're like, I want to like you.
Right.
But, it's
You need to spice it up a little
Snore
bit.
City. Yep.
Yeah.
So you think that I heard some people talk about this too? Well, if I just get her or him, I think I can change him. You think that's
Oh no, I never.
That is
no.
unhealthy.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Did I actually have that thought consciously? No. When you really think about it, was that what you were doing? Yes. You see how he treat them and how he treated the other ones, and you feel like, no, he ain't gonna do me like
I'm
that.
different.
He's not gonna do me like that.
so? How you guys feel like when you found the right one? I mean, what will be? I mean, what's the sign that you feel? I think this is the one.
I don't know. I haven't had it
I
yet.
haven't
It has not.
right.
It has not happened.
I
I have something happen. I don't know what's gonna happen though, but I don't know.
What? Go expound on it.
I mean,
Come on now.
I've been it's a person I have a lot of history with, and we're trying to see what happens with that. But
Good history.
good and bad history.
Okay.
A lot.
All right. So how do you separate the two, the good from the bad, in terms of?
You can't. You just got to embrace all of it, and learn from all of it, and it's a good thing because we know everything about each other. You know, he knows the bad, I know his bad. He knows my good, I know his good. So we'll see what happens.
We're visiting with Danielle, Tiffany, and Tasha, and we're talking about finding a good man. They say they can't find a good man, and I'm enjoying this topic and this conversation because I'm trying to bring in the male perspective on some of the things that some guys share with me. And I hear you guys talking about you don't want a boring man, and you want a man that's going to take charge and
Needs to have a little edge.
yeah, have a little edge. Now I'm sure the looks has got to be on top of the list.
Not for me.
You know what? I think it is. I want somebody who's good looking, but I've had an ugly boyfriend at one point before.
Tasha.
He wasn't cute. I'm not saying who it is. You
Yeah.
act like I'm putting him out there. I had an ugly boyfriend at one point in time, and I really liked
Did
him.
he treat you nice?
He treated me very well.
So
but
what happened? You couldn't get over the ugly or what?
I went to go do something and was gone for a while, and we just kind of
It
faded away.
Mm.
But I didn't think I can see right now. I'd be like, what happened? How did that happen? But I see how it happened. He was a really good
There's
guy.
got to be some sort of physical attraction. It's got even if it's minute, it's got to be some.
He can have a little swag, I guess.
That's what it is, and I felt very safe with this ugly boy.
But safe in what regard? That no other women want him, or what do you
No,
mean
I
by
felt
that?
very safe. Like couldn't nobody
Yeah,
do nothing
right.
to me because he was.
Was he a thug?
He was a thug.
An ugly thug at that,
He
huh?
was an ugly thug.
Yeah.
He was fugly.
Thugly?
He was thug-
So he was thugly.
He was.
That's hilarious.
But he treated me well, and I felt very safe with him. And he's a good guy. He's married now, and he's a really good guy. So.
See,
Because I heard women talk about he got to have good hair.
Oh no.
there is no
Because
such thing.
at some
as
point he
bad
ain't gonna
hair.
have no
Healthy
hair,
hair is good hair,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
To me, looks aren't everything. I care about how a person treats me and how they carry themselves. I tell you what is a deal breaker for me is if he can't dress.
he can't
That
dress.
is a big.
I
I
cannot
can't deal
stand
that.
that.
I can't.
Well, can't you help
I can't do
dress
that
him if
either.
you get a good
No,
one?
if he has no style, I
no,
can't go
no,
everywhere
I
with
need
you.
him
But
to
don't
dress to go
opposites
shop for
attract, though?
himself.
Not that
No.
No.
Some opposites attract, not all.
Well, you get a guy and then you can, you help him get dressed and
Nope.
put his
Been
wardrobe
there,
together.
done that. And when
Nope.
I'm not around, he'll go and put on a Hanes t-shirt with one of those little pockets on it. No,
Right.
let's
No.
not.
So that's the deal breaker,
For me.
big time.
Yeah, I can't.
For
I
you.
can't deal with that.
And you can't deal
that.
with either.
Nope, I can't deal with that. And what else were we just saying? You just said something else that I was going to expound on too. I don't know. Next.
Control. You got to dress right.
Oh,
Looks is not that important.
Yes, they are. And she's
You
saying
women,
that they are
you,
not.
okay, you
She's saying
said
that they're
looks wasn't that
They're
important.
not that important.
What
Well, you
it
don't want
is-
nobody to look like the elephant man either, though, do
Well,
you?
now, I don't want him to have a case of the elephantitis.
Yeah, okay.
However, he can be a plain Joe Blow about the face, as long as he's got style, he's
Yeah,
charismatic,
swag, huh?
just a little bit of swag.
No.
But if he treats me well, that's what's important to me.
What about if he kind
what's
of big
gonna
fat
happen
daddy?
is-
That okay,
Oh,
too?
that's another one.
Oh, wait, okay, here we go. We opened up the can of worms.
I
And
don't-
not,
I don't like-
can't be a fat daddy, huh?
He might have a little belly. I can deal with that.
You can deal
Yeah,
with
but
that.
it's not ridiculous.
But we don't want the Dunlap.
You don't want one of them guys if he go get his.
Die on the day.
You don't want one of them
know what I
kind of
mean?
guys
Yeah.
if he go get his shoes shine. He has to take the guy's word for it, huh? You don't.
Right. Oh no.
Okay. You don't
No,
want to be.
That is another deal breaker.
We have been
And,
we've been having so much fun with these young, beautiful, attractive single women that are saying they cannot find a good man. Tiffany, Danielle, and Tasha, I want to thank you all for coming on the show. I think we've had a very lively
You're welcome.
discussion
Yeah.
here on Survive and Thrive with Sherry. Like I said, and I'm pinch hitting as the guest host for Survive and Thrive with Sherry. You guys got, in 10 seconds, you got anything that you might want to add? 10 seconds, Tasha.
I don't know. Get it together, y'all.
Get it together.
We good over here.
Danielle.
I know there's some good men out there. Don't be afraid to approach us.
All right.
And be safe. Don't be so aggressive. Come lightly. Tread lightly.
Tread lightly.
Yes.
And if I look mean, I'm not mean. It just be looking at me.
Just look at me. Hey, you guys watch this show. You've been watching Survive and Thrive with Sherry. I'm the guest host, Mike Pittman. We've had a lively conversation with these beautiful, lovely women. And if you guys are out there that you want to get in touch with these women, look at the number on the show and we'll make sure we get the message to them. Thanks for joining us.